welcome to the first part of a special doubleheader this week on Terrific TV Toys. Two great classic television shows are turning 50 years old this week, and this series is marking those anniversaries with 2 episodes over 2 days. First up is the massive cultural phenomenon known as Star Trek. Can you believe it? It turns 50 today, the day this episode drops on YouTube, September 8th. It was that date in 1966 that the original series first premiered. Gene Roddenberry's amazing vision for a wagon train to the stars, a sort of space opera or a western in space, if you will, began with the first pilot episode, The Cage, which did not air in its original form until years later, but which was also cut up for another episode, a 2-parter in the fall of 1966. That was the Menagerie 2-parter, and it aired in November after the September 8th premiere. So we are tying in Ms. Susan Oliver as Vina in the episode The Cage / The Menagerie as our toy to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And this is an anniversary toy. Have you noticed? It says Star Trek Special Anniversary Edition, exclusive 30th anniversary Playmates Skybox collector card with that. So it's not the 50th anniversary, it's the 30th anniversary in 1996 that this one was commemorating. So what better way to mark the 50th anniversary, especially since this was the gal that started in the very first footage of Star Trek. So Susan Oliver as the, it's labeled here as the Orion Animal Woman. I've also heard it called Green Orion Slave Girl over the years. I think that's the terminology I usually remember. Susan Oliver played this species of alien. And then in the 3rd season episode, Whom Gods Destroy, Yvonne Craig donned the green paint for her portrayal as an Orion slave girl in an amazing dance sequence. If you have not seen this, oh my gosh, Yvonne Craig was a wonderful dancer, very skilled, and her dance sequence in that episode, oh gosh, is definitely worth viewing. So yeah, Susan Oliver, a word about her. She was born February 13th, 1932. She died May 10th, 1990, at the age of only 58. Her resume goes back to the mid-1950s. She was on Peyton Place, the soap opera, among lots of other roles. So, and she was just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. In this guise as the Orion girl, she she was beautiful also, but she was a blonde in that series. And then, of course, part of the storyline for that episode, the pilot episode, and then the Menagerie and all of that, was that was not her true appearance, right? We see her true appearance at the end, but the actress herself was beautiful. And this is a very cool way to remember that episode. And I love doing out-of-the-box experiences here on Terrific TV Toys. This is not an out-of-the-box experience, so no gasping from the crowd as I, start to tear this open or anything. I'm going to leave it as is. I really don't feel the need to open it. Maybe someday I will open it, but I bought it this way, and it was at a show I attended, I would say probably 3 or 4 years ago. It was at least 3 years ago. I think it was a particular show, actually that will remain nameless, in New Jersey that I attended one year that I thoroughly think is cursed, and that's why it remains nameless, because it ate my netbook, but that's another story. I think, if I remember right, if I'm seeing the vendor tables in front of me, and when I bought this, I think it was that show. But suffice it to say, it was on the East Coast. It was round about 2012 or 2013, and I got her for all of $1. She was in one of those bargain boxes, I think kind of under the vendor table. She was in a box of a bunch of stuff for $1 each. And I thought, oh gosh, I can't leave her behind. She's just adorable. And I loved the episode and all of that. This is a collector's edition, so you'll notice the number there. Mine is number 006694. That's cool. It's got the verbiage as seen in the pilot episode, The Cage. And we'll take a look at, since we're not going to take this out of the box, take a look at the other detail here, and you can see her pretty well, minus the glare. You can see her pretty well in that package. She's got her beautiful gold outfit on and her green flesh, and then she comes with a fountain, which if you remember from the episode, she's sort of dancing around. What else is she coming with? There's like another blue part in there. And then there's this collector card. Let's turn it over. Yeah, it's a torch. So that other blue piece that I just was looking at, these are the Talus 4 accessories. The torch illuminates the Telosian caves. The fountain is used in the Orion ritual dance. And let me see, she's got a base too, 30th anniversary action base. Vina stands ready to challenge Captain Pike, because of course Captain Pike was her Star Trek Enterprise captain in that episode. It says, after a disastrous mission on Rigel 7, the USS Enterprise received a distress call from survivors of the SS Columbia on Talus 4. The landing party found a group of aging scientists and a young woman named Vina, who they claim was born just before they crashed, but it was all an illusion created by the mentally powerful Telosians. They used Vina to trap Captain Christopher Pike and try to entice him into becoming part of their menagerie. The Telosians forced Pike to live through several illusions with Vina, hoping to find one that would placate him. The most tempting illusion let Pike live out a personal fantasy, TMI, trading in Orion animal women. Vina appeared to him as one of the slaves and performed an exotic dance, but Pike resisted the temptation. After discovering that the humans would rather die than be held captive, the Telosians released Pike and his ship. Vina, the only true survivor of the Columbia, remained with the Telosians. They showed Pike that she was actually a crippled old woman, but promised to restore her illusion of beauty. You can see there are others in this particular set commemorating the cage. There's a Captain Christopher Pike, a Mr. Spock, who was his officer as well as Captain Kirk's officer. There's the Telosian Keeper, in addition to Vina. And then you see there's a set of 3 from the original series. There's Barclay from the Voyager, there's a set from DS9, and then there's a set of 4 from the Next Generation in this set by Playmates. So you can see, got the copyright, 1996. And collector note, the cage, produced in 1964, was Gene Roddenberry's first Star Trek pilot episode. Much of the cage was used in Star Trek's first season 2-part episode, The Menagerie, as I mentioned, which takes place 13 years later in that continuity. Mr. Spock is the only character from the cage who stayed with the series, although Majel Barrett, who played number 1, later starred as Nurse Chapel. Blah, blah, blah. It says here the cage never aired on network TV. Well, it did kind of... right? It was brought back, at least on video. Maybe it didn't actually air on network TV. I don't know all the details of that. But I know I saw it. It seems like I did see it on TV because I don't own any copy of it. It is still revered by generations of Star Trek fans. It's the episode that spawned a legend that continues to this day in feature films and TV sequels. And that is what we are talking about with the amazing thing that is Star Trek. So... here we have in the box experience with Vina and a celebration of a very special show that I know and love. So thanks for watching. Tomorrow, another 50th anniversary. Have you guessed it yet? You know what show premiered on September 9th, 1966. Stay tuned.